Let's welcome back to the show the governor of Arkansas, his governor, Asa Hutchinson. Governor, it's a pleasure to have you on. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Good to be with you.
So, Governor, the president today now said he does intend to go to the border. Do you believe him? He's never been.
Well, if he says so, we ought to believe him. I hope he does, and I hope when he goes, he brings a bipartisan group of governors with him, because we're the ones that are getting hit by this terrible border crisis. Now it's a bipartisan concern that both parties are reflecting the abysmal failure and critical of President Biden and his policies. So he needs to go. But also, he needs to take action. The Supreme Court's taking the border policy more seriously than President Biden is, and that needs to change. We have to have a solution, and Congress needs to act on this.
But the president just recently said, quote, there are more important things going on.
Well, he's all over the map on it, and that's exactly the reason that we have an influx of migrants that believe the border is open, because he has diminished it as an issue. He's tried to raise it as an issue. The inconsistency of his policies in and of itself is an invitation for people to come in and cross the border illegally. Whenever you see Title 42 that's still in place, thanks to the Supreme Court ruling, now we have time for a bipartisan solution, and it can't be a comprehensive solution. It has to be focused on the border security side of it. I do believe that there's opportunity there, and the Republicans can lead on this. We can lead in a bipartisan way if we bring people together to look at that solution, to have a replacement for Title 42. So Congress has to act on this, and we need leadership terribly well.
Well, to your point, let's watch the disconnect between the White House on Biden's border crisis and Democrats like New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Watch this.
I'll follow up to some of the immigration news from over the break. Does anybody around here think that the southern border is secure?
What I can tell you is this is a president has been working since day one to work on border security, to make an immigration a priority. That's why he put forth a comprehensive immigration reform plan legislation. And here's the thing. As the president is coming forward and trying to come up with solutions, the difference here is that you have Republicans, as you know, who are doing political stunts. And, and we've called that out over and over and over again.
It's a real embarrassment, I believe, on a national level, and we must have an appropriate response. We have had conversations around the issues on migrants for decades. This is a national issue. It must have a national response.
So that was the New York City mayor saying this is an embarrassment. The Democrat governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, is sending illegal immigrants to New York City. Homeland Security admits it, quote, has no records on 350,000 illegal border crossers released into the U.S. that it was supposed to be monitoring through its alternatives to detention programs. So how can the White House press secretary say the president is focused on border security?
Well, she can't with a straight face, and that's the embarrassing part of it, that they claim everything is fine along the border, but from the mayor of New York to the governor of Colorado to every other governor, we know it's not right. We know it's not fixed. The American public understands that, and this is about the integrity of the United States, our democracy. We're a sovereign country, and so action is required. Consistent policy is required. Engagement with Mexico is a critical part of this as well, and being able to control the cartel that are bringing the migrants in, bringing the fentanyl in. This is a humanitarian crisis, but it is also a crisis within our cities in terms of illegal drug use and the fentanyl and the deaths because of this. The mayor has it right. There has to be a national response right now. The states are leading, and there has to be more that's done. It has to be Congress, but this administration must lead. They are not.
Hutchinson, a pleasure having you on. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth MacDonald. You've been watching.